welcome. You are watching Business Plus here on News 9 Live. I am KrishnaKumar and these are the top stories that we're tracking on this edition of Business Plus. In a big cheer for the FMCG players of India, rural growth, the demand growth in rural areas have outpaced the demand growth in urban areas for the first time in over 2 years or over 5 quarters. Celebrities and sportsmen command the highest advertisement volumes in IPL 2024. Bollywood star King Khan, Shahrukh Khan dominates with a 13% share in ad volumes. Now, on account of misleading advertisements, Supreme Court of India zooms its lens on celebrities and influencers. The Apex Court highlights the shared responsibility of advertisers and endorsers while promoting products. And auto sales for the month of April zoom. They've clocked a 27% year-on-year growth. We'll get you more details on what exactly is selling more, which car is highest sold with a representative, and later on the show. Consumer Affairs Ministry set to meet e-commerce companies on the 15th of May amidst rising instances of fake online reviews. So those are our top stories. We begin with the big cheer coming in for the FMCG segment, the fast-moving consumer goods segment, where rural growth has outpaced urban demand after over 2 years. Rural growth came in at 7.6% for the January to March quarter, while urban demand growth stood at 5.7% for the same quarter. To get the better understanding of this, so we have my colleague Amit Ranjan now joining us. Amit, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. We also have my colleague Suhas Maheshwari as well. Tell us what is happening over here. For the longest time in FMCG segment, the question has always been, when will rural demand be back? And now it looks like it's back.
It's coming back and we have a good monsoon to look forward to. We always say FMCG has been the laggard even in the stock markets. But it is the non-food segment that has seen a double-digit growth in rural India. It is over 11% home and personal care. Staples, whether it's rice, atta, they have gone down. The growth has gone down a little bit from over 5% to little less than 5%, 4.8%. That has gone down. But home and personal care are the ones that have recorded maximum growth in the rural demand. And as you rightly said, the urban demand has been overtaken by the rural demand in more than 2 years. Here we have the figures. The January to March quarter, the urban demand has been 5.7, 7.6. Never before in the last 2 years has that been the yellow color overtaken the other one.
And that's a unique phenomenon, isn't it? In the sense that it's not that been that way forever, Suyash. But off late, you're somebody who tracks the FMCG sector, all the FMCG stocks, and when you ask them, from Hindustan Unilever to anybody, the questions have always been around when will rural demand be back and what is it going to take for rural demand to come back. Now, not only is it come back, but it's actually outpacing urban demand.
You're absolutely right, Krishna. And I think one of the biggest pain points for the Indian economy, as you rightly pointed out, in the last 2 years was that rural demand was lacking, right? Rural consumption, rural side of things was, facing some bit of resistance because the monsoon in the last couple of years was poor. Remember, India was going through El Nino sort of conditions in the last year, this time around. So monsoon really was poor, and predictions coming out from IMD and SkyMet indicate that 2024 is going to see normal monsoon this time around. So what happens is this bodes well. I mean, the income of the disposable income, this will definitely give a boost to the disposable income of the rural segment, and that will drive their demand and consumption for your staples. And I think that we are seeing some bit of green shoots of recovery as far as rural demand are concerned. I mean, after a very long time, a gap of 25 months, rural consumption has managed to outpace urban demand. So I think the economy, I think at least one of the points or one of the major pain points, I think we are kind of finding a resolution for it. And the expectations of normal monsoon this time around is especially aiding that theory, and we are seeing that in the stock price movement as well. I mean, in the last 3 or 4 sessions, if you follow the the stock markets, Indian markets have been on an incessant, selling spree. Nifty has corrected by about 600 points in the last 3 or 4 sessions, and Nifty FMCG has been the only pocket of the market that has acted as a true defensive and, actually managed to rise in a falling market. Nifty FMCG was up 2% yesterday, whereas Nifty was down 1%. So I think for the longest of time, the FMCG pack had not really done or much for the investors. So we are seeing at least, as far as demand is concerned, we are seeing some bit of some green shoots of recovery over there. That is improving the overall, macro or fundamental picture for these stocks as well. And we are seeing some pickup in stock prices also, Krishna.
Right. All the action on the ground in India's villages and small towns, resulting in stock price uptick in the big city, in the biggest cities of India, where trading of the stocks take place. So that is an important trend to watch out for. Rural demand back. Interestingly, it's not just about the staples where the demand is back, but it's the home and personal care segment where rural demand is back, the discretionary segment, if I may. So interesting trends emerging from there. And not just there, as far as interesting trends are concerned. Interesting trends also emerging from IPL, all the IPL action. Every time there's an IPL, there is also an ad festival that is taking place. And this time around, it's an ad festival of celebrity endorsed advertisements, which stood at 61% of all ads, while the share of non-celebrity endorsed advertisements was just around 39%. Overall, Bollywood stars and sports persons and TV actors dominated in terms of the ad volume share. Notably, Bollywood superstar King Khan, Shahrukh Khan came on top with the highest 13% share in ad volumes. Suyash, IPL is big business, and it's not just big business in terms of what happens with the cricket, but what happens in terms of all the brands getting wanting to get eyeballs. And it's a clear trend that brands are increasingly betting on celebrities to sell the products, because there was a time when there'd be so many innovative creative ad campaigns, but not that none exist this time around. Say for example, you have the parlay ads where there is no celebrities involved, but largely an overwhelming majority of ads seem to be piggybacking on Bollywood stars and celebrities. And
that makes a lot of sense too, Krishna, because given that they are celebrities, they are always in in the media circles as well. So you always see their faces, though they are more recognizable than your traditional player. As men, we may differ that your Virat Kohli is as widely recognized as a Shahrukh Khan.
Yeah.
They are not. A large population would not still recognize Virat Kohli or a Shahrukh Khan. So it makes sense. And Shahrukh Khan having the biggest chunk of screen time as far as advertisement is concerned, again, makes sense. Look at the phenomenal year he had, 2023, some mega releases. Ajay Devgan too had some big releases as well. And I think previous year it was Amir Khan, so he also had some big releases. So it makes sense. Whatever is the flavor of the month is what you see on the television.
Just like the stock markets, isn't it? There's always a flavor of the month as a stock, and here you go, 13% for Shahrukh Khan, 7% for Ajay Devgan. The sports stars coming in, look at where they are, just 4% share. Somebody like Virendra Sehwag, who endorses brands, just 4%. Ravichandran Ashwin, another 4%. And then you have Hardik Pandya, just 4%. The Bollywood stars are in shares of ads are 3 times that of sports stars in an event which is about the sport of cricket. So, it is incredible that those are the numbers that Bollywood stars are able to rack up. And of course, as Suyash was rightly pointing out, it's a lot to do with, what has been happening with Shahrukh Khan. Bear in mind, 2023 was a phenomenal year for Shahrukh Khan, with 2 absolute blockbusters and another film which didn't do that well, but still managed to rake in quite a bit of moolah. I'm talking about Donkey, which did quite a bit of good business, but nothing compared to what Jawan and Pathan did. So Shahrukh Khan ruling the both on the silver screen as well as the sporting screen of IPL as well. And with that, we are taking a very short breather over here. We'll be back with lots more on the other side. Keep it with Business Plus.
Why is the state not looking at putting an embargo on that?
As a Telangana person, I will not accept.
How do ordinary folks deal with this?
Golf as a game, it is closest to the game that you call life. you've got to use your mind. You cannot lose it. The sharpest person is one who understands his limitations. खुद ही को कर बुलंद इतना कि खुदा बंदे से पूछे कि तेरी रजा क्या है. You might have a bad break after a good shot. You might have a good break after a bad shot. But the fact remains, you got to play the ball from where it lies.
Watch Jeev Milkha Singh on Duologue with Barun Das, streaming on News 9 Plus.
20,000 people dead and counting. What's happening in the United States of America is unprecedented. You will have to pay for this.
You're watching Business Plus, and in this edition of Business Plus, so we are putting the focus on the Supreme Court of India, which has trained its lens on celebrities and influencers, and this is with regard to misleading advertisements cases. The Apex Court of India has made it clear and stated that it is a shared responsibility of the advertiser as well as the endorser while promoting products, which means that the celebrity slash influencer who is endorsing a product or a service has to take responsibility if there is a case of misleading advertisements, and the responsibility also falls on the influencer slash celebrity. So Yash, it's very this is something that keeps doing the rounds. Remember when for the cola ads, all the superstars of Bollywood were asked questions. If you know that a cola is bad for the health of people, how are you endorsing it? And then the Bollywood stars shot back and say the fact that no, if it's allowed to be sold, why can't we endorse it? But this is a different issue. This is a case of advertisements being misleading, and the responsibility now from Justice Hema Kohli of the Supreme Court making it clear that the responsibility has to be shared between the advertiser and the person promoting the product or the service.
Yes, and I think it's a step in the right direction, because I mean the celebrities are the proponents of the particular brand or a product. I mean the general audience take their word on the face value of it, right? They are going out there and saying that so and so product does so and so things, and which they might not do. So calling for due diligence on the part of influencers, I think, makes us a lot of sense, and it's a step in the right direction, because they are to be responsible. Also, I mean, as per the latest guidelines, for what they are going out and saying or promoting while promoting a certain brand, and that again circling back to it. The general audience take their word on for face value, right? So you would want them to at least do their due diligence, Krishna.
Absolutely. Face value, very good point you mentioned. It's all about the face value, and if that's the face that you're going to be putting on it, then you better do your due diligence. That's the word coming from Supreme Court as well. But moving on and away from that story to something very important, we're tracking the auto sales numbers in India for the month of April 2024, and auto sales have clocked a 27% year-on-year growth. To understand what exactly are those numbers and where exactly does the growth come from, we have Mr. Manish Raj Singhania, President of FADA, Federation of Auto Dealers Association, joining us here on this edition of Business Plus. Manish, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us. Talk to us. These numbers look extremely good. What are the factors driving auto sales in the country? Is it all about only the car sales, but are also the two-wheelers doing well?
So initially the growth story of auto industry was primarily attributed to only to cars, but since last Diwali season, the two-wheeler retails have been very consistent. In every month we are seeing a very good performance from two-wheeler segment. In fact, last month two-wheeler grew by almost 33-34%. So that's a stupendous rise. Initially, post-COVID, dealers of two-wheeler were definitely struggling, and we could not get retails from two-wheeler industry, basically because the Bharat of India rural segment was not performing well. But now, with good crops and good season, good festival season, and good fund flow in the rural market, now the rural market has also started contributing towards the overall retail of the auto industry. That's why you can see a good retails happening overall in two-wheeler industry. And also last month Navratra was also there, and we are very conscious about auspicious buying that also led to furtherance of retails, and marriage season as well as election spend also contributes towards two-wheeler retails, because a lot of money kind of tends to flow back in the market, and that finally gets utilized somewhere in the auto sector. So overall a good month and for the auto retail.
All right, Mr. Singhania, a bit of anomaly playing out in India, because one would expect that in a high interest rate regime, discretionary spend would take a back seat. We are seeing that in US in both auto sales as well as housing sales, but both in India, both pockets of the market are doing phenomenally well rather, with double-digit increase pretty much on a month-on-month basis. What's your take on this? Why are we witnessing this anomaly?
So I don't think interest rate is like kind of, I would rather say the interest rates have been stable here. We definitely saw post-COVID, we saw an increment in interest rates, but for the past 1 year, more or less, it has been stable. And as the finance is also an integral part of the auto retails. While interest rates are there, the financiers have been very aggressive in terms of funding the auto or vehicles, whether it is two-wheeler or four-wheeler. Now you can see that financiers have come out with schemes of funding not only the vehicle cost, also but the insurance and registration, or maybe accessories also. So the comfort of getting a finance on on vehicles, that contributes there. And if you divide the higher interest rate in an EMI over a period of 5-7 years, it is a nominal effect of 300 or 400 or 500 rupees for a particular vehicle. So I think finance is not creating difficulty, it is easing the mode of buying the vehicle.
Right. And also, would you say that we are witnessing some bit of a shift in consumer behavior as well? Because I remember when I was a young kid, we would cars in our family would stay with us for like 5-10 years. Now the new Indians, they are the millennials at least, who are buying new cars. They are only keeping a car with them for probably for the next 3 or 5 years. Are you seeing a shift in consumer behavior as well?
Definitely, I think a lot of things are also contributing towards this. New cars are very, we have a lot of gadgets in the new car and a lot of features in the new car. And when you're personally driving a vehicle, it adds to a lot of comfort to your driving comfort, as well as the overall experience that you have in your car. So, and plus the environmental consciousness has also come in. New cars are much more environmentally less polluting. So all this kind of gives a kick to the young consumers, especially, to buy the vehicle. Yes, and definitely the car ownership has gone down because the frequent or innovative changes that are coming in the auto industry that prompts the customer to go for an even new car, and also the overall prosperity that we are seeing in overall Indian mindset. Indian economy, everything is progressing and moving in a positive turn. Initially, we used to have, roti, kapda, makan, kind of thing. We used to think, we can have that basic things that would suffice, that you have achieved something in your life. But that trend has totally changed. Now we are aspirational. We want to buy things. We want to own things. We want to own gadgets. We want to own features and utilize them and feel it. So that's the trend, and I think SUV segment has been hugely benefited with this. The kind of accessibility and the comfort and the features with which OEMs are coming up with, that has led to a increase in overall retails of PV segment.
Right, we're talking about the SUV sales. We will continue discussing that. We have a very important discussion coming up on this side. We're taking a very short breather. More on the other side. Keep it with Business Plus.
You were the chosen one to direct Mr. Bachchan for his first endorsement, for his first appearance on the small screen.
It was a life-changing moment.
Have you been a rebel with a cause?
There was a sense of responsibility, there was a sense of frustration.
Are you worried about cancel culture?
You tell a story with a fierce psychosis, you're gonna spoil it anyway.
This and more. Streaming on News 9 Plus. Subscribe and get free vouchers.
जानना है तो देखिए, समझना है तो सुनिए, सीखना है तो पूछिए, और कमाना है तो खरीदिए। जानकारी, सलाह और निवेश सब एक ही सुपर ऐप पर। पैसे का सवाल है तो जवाब है मनी 9। आजादी पैसे की, अभी डाउनलोड करें।
You're watching Business Plus. The most popular car of India is not a Maruti anymore. Tata's mini SUV, the Tata Punch, has emerged as the country's largest selling model ahead of some of Maruti's popular models like Wagoner, Swift and Brezza. Tata Punch has emerged as the largest selling car in India for now 2 months in a row at over 17,500 units in the month of March and clocking volumes of over 19,000 units in the month of April 2024. The vehicle is sold in both the ICE or internal combustion engine and electric vehicle avatars. Manish Raj Singhania continues to be with us, president of FADA. Manish, what a story it's been for Tata, which has been wanting to make sure its presence as India's leading car maker. It is now the third largest car maker in India behind Maruti and Hyundai, and currently selling the most favored car in the country. Who would have thought the most favored car in the country will not be a small car, will not be a hatchback, will not be a Maruti, but a mini SUV from the Tata stable?
So yes, you can definitely see the likings and trends of the Indian consumer changing. A lot of things, the SUVs are now totally dominating the landscape, and whichever company owns good SUV will continue to get traction from the market. And Tata's definitely post-COVID, they are the company that kind of, they were able to garner numbers, they were able to produce vehicles, they came up with very exciting products with excellent design and lots of loaded features. They have definitely changed the trend, and it is an ever-evolving landscape, definitely. I would also like to share with you that at FADA, we have just launched this Customer Experience Index also, along with Frost & Sullivan, where we'll start gauging the overall customer experience for the product in terms of various quality and features, as well as the various experience the customer has in the showroom and workshop. That's a new and latest study that we have launched, and all this will make us understand what exactly Indian customers want in their vehicle in terms of product as well as service and sales and service. And these will help as a guiding force to further understand the Indian consumer mindset and keep on bringing on products so that they keep on exciting the PV market.
Right, so that's the word coming from Manish Raj Singhania, President of the Federation of Automobile Dealers Association. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us over here and helping us understand what exactly is going on with India's auto market. Interesting, Suyash also has been a buyer of an SUV or an MUV, if I may. But very interesting, isn't it? Now, once upon a time, India's car buyer was all about the mileage.
Right.
Kitni deti hai, has been the one single question, no matter whatever, frills that the car comes with. And now they're intentionally going for the SUV. SUV is fine, but then the SUV, mini SUV, being the largest selling car, is a phenomenon of its own.
And I mean, let me get back to, the point that we were trying to make, the shifting consumer behavior. I think the millennials today, they want one car, they are going for lesser cars because again, in tier 1 cities, we are facing this problem, a big problem, massive problem of parking spaces. So they are going for lesser cars, but they want the car that they are going to purchase to be, filled with all the features, the latest features, also that they can use for going to perhaps office and for their weekend getaways. And I think your SUV offers the best of both worlds. You can use it for your, day-to-day operations as well as you can for your weekend getaways to the mountains, perhaps for off-roading, and we are seeing a tectonic shift in the buying behavior again for your typical Indian as far as the Indian car buyer goes, because they are buying more and more SUVs. One, again, it's a shifting consumer behavior. Second, I feel that, since SUVs, they are available in a much broader price range.
Yeah.
Earlier, all your cars would be probably more than 15 lakh and beyond, right? Your SUVs. Now they're available, we have mini SUVs, compact SUVs ranging from 5-10 lakh to up to 1 crore. So it's there for everyone, right?
So there's a mini SUV, there is a
compact
SUV, subcompact, there's a mid-size SUV, and because the interesting part here is that it's not just the Tata Punch. The other top-selling car in the country is a Hyundai Creta, which would come as in a mid-size SUV. Right. So it's the mini SUVs and the mid-size SUVs that have really taken the Indian car market by storm.
And you have to credit all the the automakers as well for realizing what the buyer actually wants and going out there and putting out products that fulfill their needs.
There you go. The rank 1 for Feb 24 was WagonR, and then Tata Punch, and then Tata Punch again. Rank 2 for the month of March is Creta, and then WagonR, and then rank 3 is Baleno, WagonR and Brezza. So very interesting trends emerging. And with that, we've completely run out of time here on this edition of Business Plus. Thank you so much for watching. This is KrishnaKumar signing off.
Luxury is now becoming a need rather than something that you aspire to be. So that is adding a lot of fuel. Obviously, government has played a vital role in it.